Right, so my name is Sam Witt. Today I'm going to be demonstrating how to make the perfect cheeseburger. I'm sure you've all had a good burger before. I'm sure everyone has had a burger in their life, but you've never had a perfect hamburger. Today I'm going to be demonstrating on how to make the perfect hamburger. Now that I listed the things that I'm going to be talking about, gathering your ingredients, preparing your meat, and preparing your final end product by placing it all together, let's get this show on the road. To start off, you need your buns. So today I'm going to be going with some whole grain white buns over here. I'm going to keep it simple, nothing too extravagant, you know. If it was a special occasion, I could definitely go overboard, soak these in some garlic and butter, cook them together, and it'd be a crazy adventure for you. The next thing I'm going to go along is the spices. So some of the spices that I like to go with is some seasoned salt. Seasoned salt adds a little bit of flavor to just plain old salt without having to add any extra salt. I'm going to continue on by adding a little bit of black pepper. These are all basic, common things that you use. Then I'm going to surprise it up with a little bit of some smoky chipotle seasoning to add a little bit of spiciness to it. Then I'm going to finish off with some Italian right over here. This is Italian grinder. I like to add it. It just complements all the flavors together to create a perfect, awesome experience for your taste buds. Finally, we have the meat. I'm going with a nice smoky ground beef today. And we'll keep it real simple, light on the carbs, you know, nothing too heavy on you, still filled with protein, all the good stuff ingredients. As well as with that, I'm going to be using a little bit of avocado oil. Try to stay away from canola oil, guys. If you could take one thing away from that, is don't use canola oil. It is very bad for you. So we're going to use a nice avocado oil so your arteries don't get clogged. We're going to move into the biggest of things, which is cooking the meat. The most essential and the most delicate part of cooking a burger is preparing the meat. Now, I'm going to be showing you how to do that step by step. So, we have the meat over here. I recommend wearing a glove. Unfortunately, I do not have one. So today, I'm going to be opening up the package and just using my bare hands. So in order to get the cooking process started, you need to use something to cook on. This can be a grill or a stove. Today, we're going to be using a stove. I'm going to show you that is the most basic thing that you need. It's the most common item in a household that you can find when in order to cook a burger. So I'm going to be showing you how to do that on the stovetop. So you're going to want to heat it up to get it warm so when you get your burger on there, you're not waiting for it. Now that we heated up the stove, we're going to add a little bit of the avocado oil too. We're not going to add too much. A few tablespoons will do. So we're going to do that right now. Yummy, right? Okay, so then we have the meat over here. We're going to open up the package. We're going to do that. Okay, now we're just going to take a little bit of the meat. I'd say I'd get a handball size or so, depending on the size of your burger. So something like this would be fine, you know, just a handful. Then we're going to lay it onto the plate. So now that we have our patty, or the meat, into a ball, as you can see right here, we're going to lay it out until it turns into a patty. Now, I like mine a little bit thin, not too thick, okay? So in doing that, you have to keep in mind that the patty is going to shrink in size, like let's say like that, as well as the density of it. It almost always gets thicker, so if you are looking for that thin patty, you make it very thin before you lay it like this. Now, a common rookie mistake is to just throw it on the grill without seasoning it first. But today I'm going to show you how to get over that curve so you can make that perfect hamburger. So we're going to season it with some of the ingredients. Right over here is the seasoned salt. Going to add just a little bit too on that. Kind of mix it in with your hand. Make sure all the flavors are getting to know each other, alright? Put a little bit of black pepper on there. It smells good, right? I'm going to add some of this chipotle. Smoky chipotle. A little bit on there. Yeah, you're just gonna mix all together, make sure all the flavors get nice and familiar with each other. Yummy, you can almost smell it, right? Okay. Now, depending on how you like your burger cooked, I like mine well done. Not a big fan of the whole blood, you know, kind of mushy. That's not me. If you are, though, I recommend to reevaluate your life as well as your cooking. Depending on how you like to cook, you need to, you know, manage the clock on your time with the burger on the stove. So I like to lay it on the grill. I like to let it sit for about a minute or so, let it get cooking all the way before I flip it over. One thing that Gordon Ramsay likes to do, he says leave the burger sit still, you know, don't touch it at all, otherwise the burger's going to fall apart. I, on the other hand, you know, developed my own method. I like to be constantly flipping it so it's always getting even cooked. Looks good. You're going to want to look for a charred or brown on the outside, just like that. Looks very good. Now, in the same, sorry about that. In the same episode of Gordon Ramsay's Master Chef, he likes to use diced onions with it. Again, you can do that. It adds for more flavor. But today I'm showing you the basics, so we're gonna like this. We're just gonna flip. Ooh, wow, looks like that. Looks good. You're gonna want to look for a charred or brown on the outside, just like that. Looks very good. Now, in the same, sorry about that. In the same episode of Gordon Ramsay's Master Chef, he likes to use diced onions with it. Again, you can do that. It adds for more flavor. But today I'm showing you the basics, so we're gonna what I like to do, I like a moist burger. So by keeping it moist, I'm gonna add a lid on, just like I did now, right over there. And so that kind of keeps all the heat and the water vapors inside there, so it doesn't dry out the patty. It also soaks it for more flavor. It's sort of like the greenhouse effect, if you will. All the spices and juices, they're all just playing around with each other. At this point where the meat's getting pretty close to being done right now. So what I'm going to recommend is to get your buns started for the final end product, and by doing that, I'm going to stick them inside our toaster that we have right over here. It's at this point where the patty's been cooking for about 3 minutes or so. Looks about right. I'm going to let it sit a little while longer because I like mine well done, well cooked, you know. If you like yours about a medium rare, now would be right around the time for taking it off the grill or the stove. But before that, we're going to add the cheese on there to get a nice melty flavor. Now for cheeses, there are many different kinds that you can use. You can use the classic All-American that's playing it safe, but today we're not going to play it safe at all. I have a nice pepper jack cheese right over here. And the reason I'm using that is because it adds a little spiciness to it, you know, a little flavor. It's not overwhelming for your taste buds. You can go with a nice Gouda, and Gouda would really melt it out, really get that burger really moist for you. But again, we don't have the Gouda cheese, I'm playing it real simple today, so we're going to go ahead and use the pepper jack. If you're a well-done man like myself, a good way to see if the burger's actually thoroughly cooked is to puncture a little hole in the middle and see if there's any pink left at all. If it's fully brown, then you know. So I'm going to show you what my patty looks like. It looks like this. Thoroughly cooked. Alright, so what I'm going to do is now I'm going to add the cheese to it so it's already pre-melting for that. Right now is the perfect time to add it. If you wait any longer, your cheese won't be melted all the way, and that's not fun, you know, to have a burger with you know, still dry cheese, basically. You don't want to wait too longer, otherwise it gets too wet, it drips all over you. It's not fun, it's a mess. So I'm going to have my cheese right over here, just like that. Lay it on top of the burger. It should look just like that. Very simple, very simple. And at this point, the bun should be done cooking, so you're going to lay out your buns in order to start preparing this behemoth of a burger. So my buns are laid out. I'm going to show you what they look like so you have an idea of how to do it. Just like that. Very simple, very simple. Here's the patty one last time. As you can see, the cheese is starting to melt already with the meat being cooked. You need to get it onto the bun. Now, this has to be perfectly executed. I cannot emphasize that. You're dealing with the landmine. There's a lot riding on the line. You mishandle this one bit, it's a disaster. It's over. So, I'm going to show you how to properly do it, alright? Now that we have the patty off, or the lid off, just like that, we're going to scoop it just like that while it's riding on the line. Transfer it. We're in. Okay, well, as you can tell, that was very exhilarating. Now that the patty's on the bun, it's time for the veggies. Alright, looks like we ran a little low on the veggies. My mistake. But we do have some tomatoes, some small tomatoes. I recommend to use a big tomato, a big sliced tomato. But these will be just fine. So you're just going to place them on top, just like that. Alright, so now that you have your veggies on there, let's move into the sauces. Typical condiments that people use: mayonnaise, mustard, ketchup. Those are all basic things. I'm a little bit of a sauce man myself. I like to go a little crazy. I like to do a little Thousand Island with a little bit of ranch, mix them all together. It's a party for your mouth. So I'm going to show you how to properly. Now that we got our sauces opened up, we're going to add it to the burger. Now this has to be done very, very carefully. Trust me on this. I know from experience. I like to start with my Thousand Island. I like to put just a little bit on the top bun. Alright? So, if we can get this to come out. Now, you don't want to over drown it, you know? Alright. So, a good sufficient amount, just like that. That's fine with me. Then you're going to want to add a little bit of the ranch. Ooh, ranch comes out a little faster. Now that we have it on top, we got to prepare to flip this upside down. Now, this can be intimidating for some, but we're going to be cool as cucumbers. We're going to do it very carefully so that there isn't an accident. Looks like we're coming pretty close here to an end. So Now I'm going to show you how to finally design your final end piece for that. Now a good strategy I like to do is to grab the top bun with your index finger and your thumb. Now you're going to grab it just like this in order to stick this perfect landing. Now, be careful. I know this can be scary for some, but we're just going to flip it over right on top. Now, be careful. I'm only going to show you once. Ready? There we go, just like that. Alright, now that we have our burger finally done, I'm going to show you how properly it should look. Now, you should have a thick, prominent burger that you're proud of and is proud of itself. I'm going to show you by giving you one big wet bite, if you will. So good, the flavors. So good burger. Not overwhelming, cooked to perfection. It's a pretty good burger. I like to add maybe some bacon, some mushroom on it. That's my own personal opinion. Other than that, now that your perfect burger is done being cooked, go ahead and enjoy it yourself. Come on, don't be shy. Take a bite. I encourage you to do it. Through hard work and the painstaking process, you finally deserve to eat this perfect hamburger. I've gone over the points, how to gather all the ingredients needed to make this perfect hamburger, as well as the proper cooking methods in order to create this really just juicy, really not over the top, but pretty excellent kind of meat that your taste buds are really going to enjoy. And finally, how to properly organize it all together for the final end product. Now that you've created your hamburger, why don't you go take a slice and tell me how you like your perfect hamburger.